for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. I'm your host, Michelle White. You haven't seen us in a minute. We're glad to be back. This evening, right here on Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts, we've got some phenomenal guests that are going to be talking about some wonderful things about mental health, suicide prevention, and how to civic engagement and how we need to come together as a people and have better communication amongst one another. So you're right here on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the land, and we thank you for tuning in. We have, for our guests this evening, we have Matt Green, who is with WCCCD, Ted Scott campus. He's the provost of the campus, and he's going to be talking about a upcoming mental health suicide prevention workshop that we have at Wayne County Community College District. And we also have Miss Vanessa Harris, who is a facilitator of the Undivided organization that works with civic engagement and communication amongst communities and people in general so that we can have better communication amongst one another. And then we have Mr. Arnold Purnell, who's with QBH, which is Quality Behavioral Health Organization, and he is a clinical specialist who has been taking the classes with Undivided and is going to share some of his experiences and things that he's been able to do as a result of what he's learned and engaged with the Undivided organization. So before we get started, we like to talk a little bit about some of the things happening in the community. And if you go to my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, you'll see that I've got a lot of information about Section 8 housing, and people are moving into the Section 8 housing rapidly. I've never in my life seen so much. Section 8 is open all across the country. So if you're in need of a home, Section 8 is yet one of the organizations that will help you get into housing at little or no cost at all. So check out Section 8 housing. Section 8 housing is available in every city. Do not think that if it's the suburbs, it's not available in your city. Every city has a responsibility to have some Section 8 housing available. So check it out for yourself or for someone that you know. Also, there's a couple of events coming up. We're going to tell you about the two events that our guests are having momentarily. But the John Evan Cash Foundation, which is, I'm going to have Vanessa talk to it a little bit more, but they're having a 5K run, and it's going to be on Saturday, October the 5th from 9 a.m., starting at 9 a.m. at Kensington Park. And Kimmy Horn, the phenomenal Kimmy Horn, jazz artist, she's going to be giving a complimentary concert. So be sure and come on out to to the John Evan Cash Foundation 5K run on Saturday, October the 5th. 9 a.m. Kensington. If you need further information, our guest Vanessa will give you her number momentarily. And just check out my Facebook page. There's a lot of other information that is available, community updates and things that are happening. My co-host, Dr. Regina, was unable to be with us this evening. There's a possibility we're looking at changing to another day and time. We'll keep you in tune about that. But first, we've got Mr. Matt Green, who's going to talk to us from Wayne County Community College District. Matt Green is not only the provost of Wayne County Community College District, Ted Scott campus, he is also a firefighter. So he's an EMS worker and does all of that around taking care of his family and all the other things that he does within the community. And so he is with us this evening to talk about, we have a wonderful upcoming event called Let's Talk About It, and it's going to be about mental health and how to prevent suicide prevention. From children to adults, and some of the things that people experience, and look for some of the signs to help prevent suicide. You want to get to our youth prior to anything detrimental happening. So we're going to be sharing that. Is going to be next Saturday, not next Saturday, Saturday the 28th of September, starting at 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. at Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus, and that's located at 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville, Michigan. So, Matt, why don't you tell us some of the things that are going to be happening with this event?
So, Michelle, we have a keynote speaker who's coming from California, Christine Husmick. She just wrote a book that her book says basically is I Can Fix This, and other myths that are lies that our parents we tell ourselves as parents. And she's going to kind of explore her how she got into talking about mental health with her son and all the trials and tribulations for that. And then from there we have some great breakout sessions. We have navigating the healthcare system when your child is in crisis. We have coping mechanisms, red flags, warning signs that we should know before the child gets in crisis, and then also the impact of social media on our youth's emotions.
Awesome topics.
Yeah.
Awesome topics. And I think you have a personal story that you were going to share with our audience as well.
Absolutely. So I've been a paramedic for 28 years now, and as a paramedic, I've seen lots of people who are depressed and may have had suicide attempts, youths and adults alike. And I thought I could handle everything, but when my daughter came to my wife and I, and she said, "Dad, I want to kill myself," that was heartbreaking for me. And I thought we could navigate the healthcare system really easily, but trying to find out there's so many nuances with the healthcare system and different programs that they have. And we had to make decisions right then and there when we were in the ER, like where are we going to put our child? Are we going to bring her home with us and do a safety plan? Or are we going to do a partial hospitalization plan where she goes 8 hours a day? Or is she going to go and stay? So that was really trying, and I thought I could handle everything. I thought this is great, but not when it's my own kid. And I started thinking about all the different parents that I've dealt with in the past, how I was focused on that child and their depression and their symptoms like that, but not really realizing that there was another set of people that needed to be taken care of. So with this, my daughter's doing great now. She got help and treatment. But with this, we wanted to make sure that I could reach out to those parents, because if I felt like this, I'm sure there's other parents. So as I was talking to my staff and my community members, I kept hearing more and more stories.
Which I'm a part of your staff.
Yes,
I work at the Wayne County Community College District, Ted Scott campus. Go ahead.
So I heard more and more stories similar to mine, and so I think we've got to work this. So I went to Dr. Curtis L. Ivory, our chancellor, and asked for us to be able to put this conference on, and he, hands down, was like, let's do it. And so we've been working for about almost 6 months now, and I'm hoping this will become a good hit, and we'll do this more often. So
we so appreciate all the things that Dr. Curtis L. Ivory, our chancellor, allows us to do, and keeps the door open so that we can put on awesome things like a suicide prevention workshop, because it's so needed. The suicide rate has increased tremendously, and particularly with our youth. And so that should not be.
It shouldn't be.
Our youth shouldn't be having so many challenges, and they haven't even made it to 20 and really realized what the world was all about.
Exactly.
So suicide right now is the second leading cause of death for kids from 14 to 24. And right now they're seeing up to 20% of children in high school have contemplated killing themselves. And when you break that down, even it goes higher with minorities, and it goes higher with females. And so we really have to reach out to these parents, and so they can see the signs and hopefully get them help before it's too late.
I know one of the signs is low self-esteem, and that is so, it's so important to keep our children encouraged. And with the social media, there's so many things. There's the cyberbullying, there's the physical bullying in school, and we know that children can be cruel. They were cruel when we were little.
Yes.
But the cruelty that they experience now is at a whole nother level.
Another level.
And if they put anything about you on social media, it can, and we have to really be careful with that, because a lot of the social media just lies about different things. But what are some of the things that you were able to do from a personal experience to help your daughter? And I'm so sorry to hear that. I know we've been praying for your daughter. I'm so glad to hear that she's doing a lot better.
So social media was a huge thing, because the algorithm, it's not even the bullying yet, it's the algorithm. So if my daughter felt depressed and sad, she'd look at TikTok, and that was saying, okay, sad and depressed, and that TikTok would keep feeding her sad and depressing memes and so reels. And so with that, it got continued to get more and more down. She self-esteem was going down, and also she started to spend more and more time alone, away from the family, and those were kind of symptoms. And seeing that I see now, isolation. So what we did, we got her out and we started physical activity. Physical activity was one of the key points of helping her turn around, because if you're physically active, you get the mind active, and that helps them tremendously.
Yeah, keeping your mind active, keeping your body active, releasing endorphins, which all helps for better mental health, better health all the way around. That's wonderful. And you said one thing, isolation. Isolation, we have to be careful to not allow our children just to stay in their rooms or stay on Nintendo or Xbox or whatever all day long. That's just not good for them. So keeping them engaged and spending time with them is so vitally important. So I'm glad to hear that has happened. I love the topics that we're going to have at the event, navigating the healthcare system when your child is in crisis. Our keynote speaker is well known around the country and has a huge following, social media following, which is going to help, because she had a child that committed suicide or attempted suicide, but recovered from that. So she'll be able to speak to that. And then we have various people coming from Detroit, Wayne Integrated Health, and many different organizations.
We looked for providers who were local, and so that we would make sure that, and we gave them an opportunity, so we have tables and resources so they can go out and talk one-on-one and help provide those resources for them to allow them to get the help and also get the literature that they need in case this happens to them.
And coping mechanisms. Like you said, engaging in physical activity is one of those coping mechanisms. Talking, having more conversation. Sometimes with youth, you'll say, "How are you doing?" "Fine." They'll give you one answer syllables. "Okay, can we have a little convo here? Can we talk just a little bit?" But we have to help them and show them how to have that conversation so that we can kind of delve into where they are. And I was one of those parents that I've looked through your stuff. People say, "Oh, don't touch Johnny's stuff." I'm the parent. I'm going through your drawers. I'm going through your everything. Whether you're looking or not, I don't care. You're a child. So there's no privacy. Look in that phone.
That's right.
Look in those drawers.
That's right.
Look around. These are your children. They're not your buddies. It's fine if you guys could be friends, but they're your children. They're still learning how to navigate this thing we call life. And we want them to have life, and that more abundantly, don't we? We want them to have longevity in life. There's no reason why so many youth should be killing themselves under 20. They just hit the planet, pretty much. So I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad the impact of social media on youth is really huge. And you said something, the algorithms. The algorithms that our children, you can turn on one thing and it'll change your algorithms to show you more. I mean, I'm sure all of us have seen how I can be talking about furniture, and next thing I know, I get tons of reels and things about furniture.
Right.
So just like you said, she could pull up something sad, and there's so much sad things that are out here, and devil faces, and all kind of, and more movies. Anybody notice that? More movies and shows that are just talking about constant evilness, and that does not promote healthy thinking,
Exactly.
and happy thinking.
Yes.
You know, somebody used to say, think happy thoughts. We need to be thinking some happy thoughts, and learn how to maintain peace within ourselves, within our own mental being.
Yes, yes.
Which is, as adults, we know that can sometimes be a challenge. It's something we each have to work at. Don't we still have to work at that?
Absolutely.
We have to work at not remaining angry or
That's
not
right.
having attitude.
Yes.
But it's a choice.
It's a choice.
But we're teaching our children how to make a better choice, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So we're also going to, what are some other things?
We are also have a breakout session for boys.
Awesome.
Men tend to hold everything tight and not be able to express ourselves, and so we need to start getting our boys to have a voice of what they're feeling, and it's okay to have these feelings of being sad or anger
or crying. It's okay for men or boys to cry.
Right.
That's right.
But somewhere along the lines, you guys were taught when you were little, you can't cry, you gotta stay tough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, toughness, crying doesn't mean you're not tough.
Right.
Exactly.
And you're right.
Right.
There's so many programs out here for women and girls, empowerment and all that, and that's great. But there are not enough programs for the men, for the boys.
Right.
So I'm so glad to hear that we're going to have a boys a workshop to hear the boys' voices.
Yeah.
That is so important. And then also we're going to have masseuse there. So when people come, we're going to have 3 massage areas where people get a free massage.
That's fantastic.
And what are some other things that we're doing at the day?
We're also having the Van Buren Police Department has agreed to provide gun locks for us, and so we can information on the new gun laws, so we can stay update and protect our homes by having our guns locked up. So
another key, how many times do we hear on the news about children finding the gun, and children are curious. So you can't just say, I'm going to put it in the top corner of the closet.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was little, I was Curious George. I used to, me too. And I used to literally knock. There was a show out when I was young called Get Smart.
Oh, yeah.
And everything, I would knock on the walls to see if there was an empty field. I would knock on the tap on the walls to see if there was some hidden drawers or hidden, and I found some.
wow.
I did. And even I found a gun that was in our house that it came from some relative that had passed, and my mother started screaming, I told you, Bob, she was going to find that gun. Because, of course, I picked it up, pulled it out. Mommy, look what I found.
Right.
And, my mother hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
But we have to lock these guns up, and now they have guns that you can lock them up with your finger.
Yeah, they're fingerprint locks.
Fingerprint locks.
It's really to know the laws, and be safe with guns. So that's one of the keys. So we'll have that available for anybody who needs that resource.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And Christina Kuzmic, is it Kuzmic or
Kuzmic.
Kuzmic is the author of I Can Fix This. She is going to be the keynote speaker at this event called Let's Talk About It. Where did we come up? Where did you come up with the Let's Talk About It?
That was from you, Michelle.
Check. No, I'm sorry. But thank you. But so helping your child during a mental health crisis conference. This is going to be taking place at the Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus, which is located at 9555 Haggerty Road. Again, that's 9555 Haggerty Road, the Wayne County Community College District Ted Scott campus, on Saturday, the 28th of September, from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. come out. If you would like a vendor table, do we still have any space
we
for
have plenty
vendor
of space.
tables?
Plenty
So
of
if you
spaces.
have, maybe you're a therapist and you're watching, maybe you're doing something and it's part of your clientele, or people are, this would be a part of our guests would be people that would be part of your clientele. You can give us a call. Where can they call if they would like to be,
They can call
have a vendor table?
313-496 2600 and ask for Amanda Consiglio.
Okay.
Yep.
So you would can dial 313-496-2600 and ask for Amanda Consiglia, who's at the Ted Scott campus. If you'd like to have a vendor table, and if you just want to come, do people need to register, or this is open and free to the public, but do you want them to register?
We would like you to register because seats are filling up fast. We really want you to come out and have a space if you like and need this opportunity.
Awesome. So the Guidance Center will be there, Michigan Medicine will be there, Detroit Integrated Health will be there, Journey Together, Rise Therapeutic Counseling, and many other agencies. So this is going to be a wonderful opportunity for you, or invite someone. Let someone else know. Our phone lines are not open yet. I think I mentioned that we've moved to a new location. So tonight we don't have the phone lines open for you. I know you're out there ready to call in and got plenty of questions. So I apologize that it's not available to you tonight, but I do have my Facebook page up and YouTube. If you have something you want to, a comment you want to make or something you want to ask, feel free to, feel free to contact me on Facebook at Michelle Turner White, or you can go to YouTube to the Wjzz Cool TV Facebook page. But it'd be better for you to type in also Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts podcast, and then you can put something in there. You're watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the land. You're right here. WJZZ is the oldest jazz radio station in the country. So we thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate you. Next, we've got Vanessa Harris, who's here to talk to us about Undivided group. And Undivided has a event that will be this Saturday at the Wayne County Community College District Ted Scott campus. Again, that's located at 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville, Michigan. Civic engagement is a virtual training that they've been conducting for a few months now, about a year, maybe?
Yes, the organization has been together since 2016, but here in Michigan, it's been since March that we've been active in the state of Michigan.
And Vanessa Harris, tell us a little bit about yourself. Vanessa sent me something on Facebook, on my phone.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to WJZZ. Michelle, you're doing a phenomenal job, and she's a dear friend of mine. We've been friends for quite some time, but I wanted to dovetail on what Matt was sharing. Matt, it's certainly nice to meet you. But as we talking about this whole situation with mental health and bringing awareness and education, that, and Michelle, you mentioned earlier about the John Evan Cash Foundation, and that's how it was founded, because my cousin, who is the president of our organization, our women's organization that Michelle is a part of, her name is Robin Cash. Her son was dealing with mental illness, and this is in his honor.
Awesome.
He passed, he was 25 years old in 2019, so they've been doing a phenomenal job of bringing funding and helping other students. So mental awareness and education is critical.
Yes.
You guys should come out and have a vendor table at the event.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
And you can get people to sign up for the walk.
For the walk.
that'd be
Okay,
great.
I love that, Michelle. So I will share that with my cousins, and we certainly would like to be there.
Yep.
And then you talked about just the fact of our parenting skills. And a lot of things that we've learned as children, we've carried it on into our parenting skills with our children. We have to make sure that we are examining ourselves and teaching them proper. But many of us have not had the proper training,
That's
right?
right.
Of how to have proper civic engagement or civility, manners. That's what civic engagement is all about. How we're treating our neighbors, how we're treating our community. And this is what Undivided is all about. We are an organization, as I said, founded in 2016.
And it's a national organization, right?
It is, it is. But they started in Michigan, and we're like the pilot company organization in the state right now, and primarily because two pastors got together, one African American and one Caucasian, to pull this company together, Undivided, because of all the division that we have in this country, and then how to better understand one another. How to better have our skills heightened in regards to developing good communication skills.
Absolutely.
How our listening, how are we explaining ourselves? How are we effective listening, reflective listening, being able to think about yourself and what you're saying, how you're projecting. Don't you know that 80% of our communication is nonverbal? Yes. Okay, only 20% is what is the words and what you're saying, but it's your actions. It's your nonverbal communication, your expressions, your tone, all of that represent 80% of our communication. So what are our children learning? They're looking at our face, you know, our lack of eye contact. And now we have these devices that if we're not careful, we're not even looking at each other.
Right.
We're on these computers. So Undivided is an organization that's a training organization. Now, my background, Matt, is in the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay.
I've had over 30 years. So I was taught to assess the needs of my healthcare professionals and to make sure that I am providing them the proper, equipment or materials or whatever I was marketing and selling at the time. So I learned a lot about how to properly shake hands, how to have that eye contact and all of that. But Undivided, and I just became a member of this organization, it takes it a step further.
Really?
We actually are doing a lot more practice and really helping people to develop those skills, being more of a better listener. You talked about your voice.
Right.
Perfect. The voice, how to help people to be empowered, to know that your voice and how you feel about it's very important. We're not doing enough of eye contact, letting people know that I'm listening to you, Matt. I hear what you're saying. I'm here. I'm looking at you. You lean into people. You embrace people. I just went last night to see the movie The Forge. It was phenomenal.
He was talking, I thought about the movie The Forge when he said the boys.
Oh, my goodness.
Boys, The Forge. Excellent movie.
It was phenomenal.
For
it's phenomenal.
Mentoring boys.
Yes.
Really?
It's at the theaters
and men.
right now. And men.
Because
men are
the
mentoring
thing.
the boys.
The men are mentoring the boys.
Yeah.
So first you got to put the mask on yourself first, right?
Absolutely.
And then be able to share with someone else. So in The Forge, he gave the young man that it's all about, the older gentleman showed him how to have eye contact.
Yes.
He showed him how to shake
a hand.
He showed them how to empower the person that you're talking with, how to articulate your words and let people know that they are important, that they're valuable, that you make people feel like they belong here. That's what it's about. So Undivided uses all of those type of skills when we have our trainings. And it is amazing what people can come out with in regards to just understanding.
That is incredible. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we're going to be down in your neck of the woods down there at the Ted Scott campus on this coming Saturday.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I'm so grateful.
And that's this Saturday at 11 o'clock.
At 11 a.m.
11 to 2.
11 to 2. We're going to have lunch. It's absolutely free. And we're going to be, providing.
You guys do good lunches, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I've attended a couple of their trainings.
And that's something else that's important to me is having hospitality and communing with people through food. How many of us love to have when you can sit down and take time and have a dinner with someone, lunch, breakfast, whatever, and you commune together? I think some of that has been lost.
Absolutely.
We do so much going to the,
Or we
you
sit
know,
in front of the television.
yes, or in front of a game,
Or a game.
or our
We used to sit around the table and have
Yes.
dinner together, or
Yes.
lunch, or breakfast, or something.
yes,
But
yes.
all of that is even just the family, the division within families,
Right.
exactly
is so prevalent.
it's
now.
so prevalent.
And
now.
our guest, Mr. Arnold Purnell, has attended,
Yes.
who's also a part of QBH, was Quality Behavior Health. You've been attending and taking some of the training with the Undivided organization, correct?
Correct.
Well, we
correct.
thank you for being our guest here this afternoon.
Thank you for allowing me to be here, Michelle.
So tell us some of the things that you have learned since being a part of the Undivided.
One thing, I'm a minister, a reverend at New Calvary Baptist Church.
Okay.
But my pulpit is quality behavior health. And this is where I get to express and
I'm a
to show
minister
them.
as well.
And so am I, Minister Vanessa
Okay.
Harris.
I know, that's right. How God can change lives
Yes.
and to give them hope.
yes.
Along with that, they do have mental health issues,
Yeah.
and to help them to identify, and to embrace it, to do what they need to do, to get on their feet, to live a better life.
Yes.
We're so blessed to have Mr. Naveed as the owner who allows us to express ourselves in any way,
Who's this?
Mr. Naveed, Dr. Naveed, with Quality Behavior Health.
Okay.
And so he allows me to share the word of God with them, and at the same time, let them know that they can change their lives.
Now, QBH is an organization, if I remember correctly, that has a lot of people that maybe were ex-users, drug offenders, or ex-offenders or drug users.
Right, but
correct?
we have all walks
All
of life.
walks of life.
Right,
Okay.
right. Different nationalities, and sometimes we don't understand each other, because our backgrounds are not the same. We have something in common, and that's our addiction, but nothing else is the same. So I helped him to embrace the next person, or their bunkie, because it's arguments always going on. So, to accept him where he is. I try to teach them to meet each person where they are. Okay.
That's awesome. A lot of our challenges, I know I've mentioned it in some of our meetings, Matt, about ACEs, and I
Right.
attended the ACEs conference
Yes.
with you with Dr.
Dr. Keon Payton.
Yes. And so a lot of the challenges that we as individuals have that don't come about until we become adults or we recognize them started as children.
Right.
Back here,
Yes.
but you just didn't know how to address it or
Right.
identify it. And sometimes we as adults, we suppress
Yes.
things that happened in our youth,
And they come
thinking
out.
that if I just forget about it, then it's okay. But it's not okay.
It's not.
Or
It comes out later.
we relive
Yeah.
those experiences over and over again,
Yes.
and make every decision we make is based on those experiences, and we've not been able to clear that and grow with that. So we need to help. So
Yes.
That's awesome, because that's one of our key lessons that we teach, and that's the power of your story,
yeah,
the power of your
Wow.
voice.
Yeah.
To be able to share that you're in a safe, brave place. And if you feel comfortable enough, please be transparent and share,
Right.
and let people know, because that's part of the healing.
Right.
And that's part of what Undivided is about, healing and racial reconciliation. Because as you said, Arnold, there's so much diversity in our world. But what's happening is so much division that people go into isolation.
yeah.
They go into their own little private little shells. And that's what I believe is leading into a lot of the suicide and mental illness that we're seeing today.
And
Because
then with COVID, that didn't help.
It didn't
because
help.
People that were already kind of reclusive
Isolated,
and
yeah.
isolated
Yes.
are even more so now.
Right.
yes, and if we don't stop and grab each other, embrace one another, let people know I'm here for you. You know, let's share each other. Let's build each other up. Let's encourage one another. We all need one another.
True, because
And-
isolation is dangerous for an addict.
Yes, yes. And that's what
It's
happens.
dangerous for anybody because
Yes.
I believe, because we're human beings.
Yes.
And we were created to connect with
Yes.
other human
With one another.
beings.
With one
and
another.
not be isolated
Right.
Yeah.
on this planet.
On this planet. And that's what's so important, that Undivided, we really work towards bringing people together. We do exercises and lessons. So it's a lot of practical application. It's not just us talking. No, we allow our teams, our groups, our training.
And
It's
I
all
like that about your
Yes.
undivided training, the workshops or the
Yes.
connectivity. What do you call it? That we do the little we get
empathetic.
together.
Yes, our
And,
little breakouts.
breakout
And we
sessions.
put people
Yeah.
in small groups, well, then we come back together in the big groups and we share. I mean, just simple things. It could be about your civic engagement, has to do with maybe your parenting skills, education, maybe how you're dealing with your housing situation, as you mentioned housing earlier, what's happening in healthcare industry, what's happening with education. I mean, civic engagement, we all are involved in that anyhow, daily. Rather, we're talking about our own personal situations, but living a quality life. That's what it's about, being able to live a quality life. So we deal with empathy, making sure that we understand, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Don't just turn your head and put your head down in the sand when someone is sharing or telling you their struggles and areas that they're having difficulties in. We have to be willing to help one another. And that's what it's all about. So Arnold, I want you to tell them of how you've been using some of the tools that you've learned.
Well, I have the guys. I get them together, and in little small groups, and we practice empathy. You know, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. You know,
How
and
do you do that?
by when they explain their story, and ask them have they been through something similar or they ever experienced it, and if not, how did it make you feel? Well, how would that make you? How do you think that would make you feel? For example, no, I'm not going to use that one. But for example, okay, I'll use it being pulled over,
That's a
Okay.
good one. That's a good one.
and your whole family being taken out the car and put on the car. How does that make you feel? You know, a Mexican, a white, and a black, and that's each one. How does it make you feel? You know, and the black person said his side, and the white person, and the Mexican. And when I asked them, could you understand why they might have felt that way? You know, put yourself in your shoes and see how you would feel if that happened to you and your family. You know,
So we can be
be in
more
search.
empathetic with one another.
yeah, be in search. You know, so
So the whole thing is empathy,
Yeah.
and how we really go into that
Yes,
about empathy.
awesome.
We have all kinds of slides and videos. We
Right.
do a lot of videos because, like I said, it's not about seminars and just sharing information. No, we want to engage the community. So we're excited about being able to come to Wayne County Community College in Belleville.
Well, we're glad to have you. That's one of the things that Wayne County Community College District does. Our campuses are free and open to the public for various types of nonprofit events that are free and open too. If your event is free, you can contact one of the campuses to see about the utilization of our spaces. It can't happen all the time, but depending on what the event is and how it is, then it's a space that can be possibly utilized to host an event. So that's one of the things that we do. I like that you talk about reflective listening. I used to, and still on occasion, teach customer service, and I would use the term effective listening, which is also another terminology. Same thing, reflective, because one of the things that we tend to do as humans, even just as when you're in a relationship with someone, or just period, we tend to be thinking of what our response is going to be instead of listening reflectively or effectively listening to really what the person is saying. You can take, and one of the exercises that I believe you all use is you can say one thing to one person, and then by the time it gets around to you, it's completely different.
Totally different.
And so we haven't listened effectively nor reflectively as to what was being said.
Right, and that's such a great point, because they're a little bit different in that effective listening, meaning that you let people know that you are listening to them, that you're hearing them.
Repeat something.
Right. Can you mirror back what I just said?
Yes.
Or reflective listening is that how is it impacting you? What are you hearing? Is it causing a trigger based on something someone says? If you talk about being pulled over, right away it put a trigger in my heart, because I did get pulled over one time and the police was nice enough to just let me go, but your memory kicks in right away. And so reflective listening has to do with more of how it's impacting you. How is it making you feel? And then to be able to discuss that, like you said, Arnold, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, how would you take that? How would you feel about that? How would you respond to being pulled over? It's critical.
Well, I think you guys need to have a table for both things at the mental health event. You need to have some material about the undivided, and because you have a lot of upcoming seminars and workshops.
Yes.
So you need to contact me or somebody
I will.
tomorrow
I
about
will.
having a vendor table both for the John Evan Cash and for the
Undivided. Excellent
Arnold,
point.
you were going to say?
We are each individual is given a treatment plan. Because the program is only 28 days, you can't do a whole lot.
The
But you
QBH
can-
program?
Beg pardon?
The QBH
Yes,
program?
QBH program. But what you can give them are some objectives to work on while they're there. And two of those objectives are behavior modification, triggers, identifying your triggers and coping skills for your triggers. That's a start. That's just a start for them, And then,
One quick question. You said the program is 28 days for people who've been on drugs to help them get off of drugs?
that's all they provide.
Lord, have mercy.
Yes,
We gotta
ma'am.
do better.
Yeah.
We have
28 days?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But the beautiful thing is, Dr.
They
Naveed,
need more money. You need more money?
yeah, everybody needs more money.
Right, that's true.
But the other thing that he provides is the aftercare program.
Okay.
He has two of those. And the way he takes care was, we have women and men. And they just had a graduation for the women, right? He bought all the women new dresses. And, he dressed them up, and they were at the Rooster Tail for their dinner. And that was their
That was
completion.
nice.
That was
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Build this up.
What did he do for the men?
Don't give them pork.
You said give them what?
They say you won't feed them pork.
Okay.
That's all.
But you know what?
But that goes back to what we were saying.
Right,
There's more
yeah.
stuff for the women.
Yes, that was my
there needs
point.
to be the men like a nice suit too,
That's my point.
or at least a shirt and a
You
tie.
hear that, doctor?
That's why we need men like Matt and Arnold to be there to help lead and mentor, because who's teaching?
And there are there. I used to, I do a lot of things in the community. So there are a lot of.
Over some suits?
I have suits. I was just
Yeah.
getting ready to say that. I collect
Men's clothing.
men's clothes. I collect items that people don't want, that want to discard them, whether that be a couch, a chair, clothing, cups, plates, and we give them away to
I will
people.
be
We don't sell them.
Sending you
We
some
have,
men.
at the college, we have the professional closet.
Yes.
And a professional closet is open to the public, and it is gently used men's, women's clothes. If you need a job and you need to dress up, we provide that for them. That's not only at my Ted Scott campus, but that's at the Eastern campus on Connor and 94. So we are all over trying to help our community.
And then our downtown
Yeah,
campus gives you food. We have
Right.
a food, and then we're
Yeah.
opening up to have food.
Yeah, we're trying to do a basic needs
A wraparound
pantry.
service. Okay.
So one of the things that I've found out is we have some students who may be homeless or who are being evicted, and we need they need this to be able to come in and grab some deodorant, grab whatever products they need, and not have to worry about that. So we're hopefully going to have that set up in the next couple months.
It's going to be.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And there are, when I used to work with shelters more than what I do now, I used to have Hot Sam's and a couple of other those men's clothiers that would give us clothing. So when people would leave the shelter, then I would take the men to these clothiers, and they would give them new suits. So you guys need to check into that
I
as
will.
well.
I will.
Yeah,
That's
and there's
so
so
needed.
many. Yeah.
That is so needed. I wanted to also just put a plug in regards to getting people together to go see the Forge, as well as just with Undivided. We're trying to get 1,000 Michiganders
Okay.
to be a part of our Undivided team, because we're in a very contentious time in this country
Right.
because of the election that's coming up. But we don't want to be undivided states. We want to be a unified state, which means it doesn't mean that we have to be always in agreement with everything that our friends or neighbors say. It's not about that, but it's about being respectful, listening and honoring one another, and being kind and considerate and civil. So that's what, yes.
Yeah.
And we all need to know we need to embrace one another and not just, ignore one another. That's not what we're about. We're about just bringing people together, empowering them to share their voice, share their story, be good listeners, empathetic. And then we're asking them to also develop a list that you can write down names of people. Once you learn and see some of our exercises, you will want to share it with your children, with your neighbors, with your friends and family members, because it's all about you empowering yourself and being able to share it with others and make a difference.
So the Undivided organization, you all are doing a myriad of things around the whole Wayne, Oakland County.
Yes, Macomb County. We even have a group up in the Traverse City area.
Okay.
We also are looking to put a group together in the Muskegon area. So we're just targeting different areas. So that's why, again, I'm so grateful to Wayne County and Belleville.
Yeah, well, we're so glad to have you. We're looking forward to you being at our campus next Saturday from, what is it?
11 to
From
2.
11 to 2. It's going to be a civic engagement training. That's this
Yes.
coming Saturday from 11 to 2. Lunch will be served. That's at Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus at 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville. So please come out. You can go to their website at
Undivided.com, and or they can contact me directly. I don't mind.
And your number
people
is?
calling me at 248-866-3949.
Okay. So again, you heard it right here on WJZZ Cool TV. You can contact Miss Vanessa Harris if you'd like to attend the Undivided event, which will be this coming Saturday, September the 21st at 248-866-3949. And if you would like to attend the event that will be on the 28th at Wayne County Community College District, the mental health event, it's Let's Talk About It, Helping Your Child During a Mental Health Crisis. It's a conference that will be held again at Wayne County Community College District. That's the Ted Scott campus on Belleville Road at 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville. And it's not far. It's directly off of the I-94 freeway at Haggerty. So instead of turning to go to Lower Huron, you just go the opposite direction. You'll see the signage that tells you where the campus is. And so don't think of it as being far. If wherever you live, have car, will travel.
Yes.
If you got a car, travel there. It'll be worth your while to get some coping mechanisms for yourself, for your youth, for anybody who needs it. Bring someone. Don't come by yourself. Call somebody else and say, come on out with me and come to this either event, the 21st or the 28th, both being held at Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus, 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville, Michigan. So come out, and for each event, they would like you to register. You can call 313 496-2600 and ask for Amanda Consiglia, or just ask for the Ted Scott campus. And then you can register on the phone. Go to our website. You can also see the QR codes on the Wayne County Community College District's Ted Scott campus website, which is once you connect to wcccd.edu, you can go to the campus, and I believe this information is somewhere on the front page
Yes,
as well.
it's scrolling.
It's scrolling
Yeah.
on the front page. And then you can go to the undivided.com.
You know what? I gave the wrong website. It's undivided.us. Undivided.us.
Okay.
And then, or you can call me, Vanessa Harris, at 248-866-3949. Or you can go to my Facebook page, look up Vanessa Harris, and you can get information there as well.
So I know there are a few more things that you all might like to share before we wrap up here. The time goes by so quickly. But we definitely want you to know that civic engagement is key, especially during this time. We're not going to talk politics right now, but the political climate is, oh my goodness. It has people so riled up and stirred
Yes.
up. And I get it and I don't get it.
Yes.
Okay, I get it, but you don't have to be all upset.
Right. And
About it.
mean and
Mean.
evil.
You don't need to shoot somebody for it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Or even get in heated conversations
Right.
about it.
Right.
You know, I'm just a believer. I don't care what's happening in the country. You still got to trust God. That's just
right.
me.
And
That's just
I
me.
want you to know that Undivided is nonpartisan.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about politics, and we are a nonprofit organization. But I wanted to share also, my pastor, Pastor Keon Payton, on this past Sunday did a phenomenal message about detoxing the tongue. Your words, your words. And he says that thoughts become words, words become action, and actions become habits, and habits become a lifestyle. So we got to be careful and watch our words.
So true. Before we go, I have one parent that used to say all the time, oh, my kids, they're just little gangsters. And she would say that so much. They're little gangsters. He's a little gangster. Oh, he found $50 today. Oh, he found $100. Kids don't find money like that. And guess what her children grew up to be? Gangsters.
Wow.
You got to speak life over your children.
Yes, yes,
Did I turn that? I didn't turn that.
Can I say one more
I
thing?
touched it. But we thank you all for coming out. Yes, sir.
We always have a vet at QBH. There's always a vet if you need help.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what's the number to QBH? Because I always know
922.
run into people that need
313.
beds.
922.
922.
2222.
Okay, so QBH, for people that might be homeless or find themselves in a situation where they need bedding, this is for men or men and women?
Both.
Men and women. Perfect information. I
Wow.
can't tell you how many calls I get of people that need a bed and everybody's full. So QBH, they've got some open beds for people that need bedding. I got people that's on my text messages now that need bedding. Do you take children?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Men and women, call 313-922-2222. And to attend the Wayne County Community College District event for the mental health, call 313-496-2600. And you can ask for the Ted Scott campus or ask for Amanda Consiglia so that you can register for that event. For the Undivided event, which is this Saturday, you can go to undivided.us, or you can call Vanessa Harris at 248-866-3949.
I also wanted to mention that for those that can't do it on Saturday in person, we are actually having a virtual Zoom call to do training from 6 to 8:30ish tomorrow. And that's a Zoom virtual that if you can do on that Thursday tomorrow. So I know this is last minute, but if anybody just know you can't make it on Saturday and you may want to come and be a part of the Zoom, please give me a call. Again, my number is 248-866-3949.
Awesome. Repeat that number again for the people that want to come tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 248-866-3949. Or they can email me at V as in Victory Harris 1102 at gmail.com. Again, that's V Harris 1102@gmail.com.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of this information, this is just a